the question I want to kind of floor is that of the League Leaders Shield. Now, in recent years, it's not really been a trophy that's celebrated that much, and you could argue that it doesn't really mean much or hold much value. But it's another bit of silverware, and in order to get the treble or the quadruple of a few teams has done, you've got to win the League Leaders Shield. So, Carl, like, in your opinion, does it have any worth? Is it something that we can really get away with? Because there was a few years where we didn't have the League Leaders Shield, didn't have any silverware finishing top.
No.
What's your thoughts on it?
I don't think it has that much worth. And if you'd have spoke to me 20 years ago, as I said, no, finishing top of the leagues, it's one of the most important things. But we've got so ingrained into having a grand final now, and the playoffs mean so much. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't have that much value, and it should really. But that's my personal opinion of it. I think we all look to the grand final. It's a massive event. It's a culmination of the season. Yes, the League Leaders Shield is important, but I'm with the clubs. I don't think they see it as that important. I mean, what's your opinion of it?
Well, I kind of agree with you. I mean, Matty Peet has come out in the news this week and said it's a trophy that they want to win, and I think that's a real nice like U-turn really on how it's been in the past. I mean, I remember a couple of seasons back, I think it was Saints, I may be wrong, where they won the League Leaders Shield, and then they almost just were like, yeah, nice one, thanks, carried on, blah, 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 went on and lost the grand final. You know what I mean? And must have kicked themselves that they treated the League Leaders Shield with that much,
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If you, at the end of the year, it's, right, say Wigan lift the League Leaders Shield, which they're likely to do, but then they don't win the grand final. They won't ever be remembered for lifting the League Leaders Shield. They'll be the team will be remembered, the team that win the grand final, and that's why it's not held in as high regard. Could we change it though? Could we? What if whoever won the League Leaders Shield went straight to the grand final, and you restructured the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that working.
That would give it more prestige, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, because you'd in effect get 2 weeks off, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but
you'd get 2 weeks rest weeks.
I'm thinking about it now. Is that a good thing, having 2 weeks off? Because some coaches just like to keep playing, don't they?
I think most coaches wouldn't want that.
No,
for that, and I think most players wouldn't want that. I think some, especially some of the aging players like Ryan Hall, I don't think although he's been one of the ever presents every game this season, I don't think he'd mind having a couple of weeks off before he went into a grand final. But, I don't think that would be... It might make it interesting in regards to the League Leaders Shield, but I don't think people particularly want it. And would you want it as a fan? It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I'll tell you one thing that is interesting I learned when I was doing a bit of digging around this story for this chat now, is that the prize money is £100,000 to winning the League Leaders Shield.
Yeah, which is decent.
It's a significant amount of cash.
Chunk of cash.
Yeah. And so it's definitely worth kind of playing for. What about if they increase that?
Well, yeah, but to the fans, I don't think that makes any difference, because I didn't know what the value of winning the League Leaders Shield was. So to the fans, I don't think it really matters. Yes, I just don't think you can alter it. I think with the playoff structure that we have, everybody knows the grand final is the big dance. That's the one you want to win. For that reason, I just don't think you will ever increase the value of the League Leaders Shield, sadly.
Yeah, and I think if you can't do it this year, when it's tightly, like they've been standout winners, and they've won it weeks ahead of the grand final before, because they've just been light years ahead in the league. This year it's been really, really close. And if you can't make it exciting now, then I don't think you're going to make it exciting. It's
all about calling yourself the champions, isn't it? And by winning the League Leaders Shield, you don't call yourself the champions anymore, and that's the reason it doesn't have it's not held in high regard. Can you think of any years where the League Leaders Shield has meant a little bit more? Because I can think of one, but I can't remember the year.
Well, I remember when Danny Maguire chipped over at Huddersfield and Ryan Hall scored the try.
That's the only one where I can actually remember it. And it was like...
it's because it was in the sky. It was getting flown to Wigan or whatever, or Saints, I think it was. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then they had to fly it back along the M62 in an helicopter. And that was really, really exciting, wasn't it?
Do you know, we should have done a little bit more digging. I wonder which teams won the League Leaders Shield the most. Do you know?
Yeah, Saints 9 times.
Right.
I think they've run us up 3 times. Wigan have won 4.
And how many Super League titles have Saints won?
Don't know.
No. So a Saints fan will be
straight on that.
Already typing in the comments. Yes, I was just
you fucking imbecile.
I was just wondering what the correlation
ratio was.
Between how many league leaders' shields to actual Super League titles. Obviously, Leeds came from a mile away that year, didn't they, to win the Super League one year? So yeah. Anyway, to conclude, I don't think there's anything you can do with the league leaders' shield. I think.
What about this bit of trivia, right? So, which 2 players with the same surname have lifted the league leaders' shield in the men's and women's game for the same club?
Ooh.
It's a good bit of...
Where did you get that from?
Well, I don't actually know whether it's true, but I can guess.
AI could have properly thrown you under the bus here.
Wait,
let me think. So I know which clubs. I'm looking Saints or Leeds.
Well,
I'm saying you're probably Leeds. I'm a hot or cold.
I'm not giving you any kind of indication, but I tell you what, if you think about like the captains that would lift the trophy and then start boiling it down into like patterns between the men's and women's, you might work it out.
Kieran Cunningham and Jodie Cunningham. Yes.
Yeah, now I can assume. I don't know if it's fucking true, but I saw, because obviously Jodie Cunningham lifted the league leader shield 2 days ago.
Yep.
And I thought, Cunningham, bloody hell. I wonder if Kieran Cunningham, he must have lifted.
Yeah, but Kieran Cunningham definitely lifted the league leader shield, definitely.
Yeah. I just thought that was an interesting bit of trivia.